Hey, what is up, guys? It is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur. Now, in this video, I want to talk to you guys about SEO, but most importantly, is SEO bogus or is it real? And I'm going to bring up some data here. I'm going to go through some of my websites, some of my customers' websites at my agency, and I'm even going to pull up SEMrush, which is a tool that any of you guys can go get online, and I'm going to put in the information. Now, I've already preloaded a lot of this just to save time for this video, but I want to show you guys the difference between doing SEO and not doing SEO. And that way you can determine whether or not SEO actually works. So what is SEO right off the bat? SEO is search engine optimization. It is the act of making your website more appealing to Google. Search engine optimization. You have to optimize it for search engines. So I'm not going to get too much into the technical aspects of what to do to make your SEO better. There's plenty of other videos that I have on this channel specifically for that. But I want to show you guys, is it bogus or not? Does it actually work? So I pulled up a bunch of stuff on my screen here. We're going to jump over there. And I want to show you guys the difference between actively doing SEO, creating good content, versus doing a little bit, if not anything at all. And I've pulled up, I think, about 6 or 7 websites here. We're going to dive in, and I want to show you guys what it takes to actually produce results versus if you don't do anything, this is probably what you're going to expect. So let me share my screen here. And right off the bat, we have my personal website, harrisonbarron.com. If you've been a long-time subscriber, you will know that this has changed tremendously. Now, obviously, I know I need to take a new headshot here, but super simple website, and I have an extremely active blog on here, right? Harris Barron. There's a lot of tags on here, things that I have to remove and stuff like that still, but there's a lot of blogs on here, and I write pretty actively as far as when they're published, right? We have April 18th on here, February, lots of stuff in the last year or so. I really took some time during the pandemic, and I want to actually show you guys, and I'm not using Google so you guys can see the real stuff. I'm showing you what a independent software, not by me, so there's no manipulation, anything like that, that you could go get and you can see. So this is SEMrush, probably, if not arguably, the largest company as far as helping people with their SEO. They provide a ton of research, they provide a ton of features, and just a whole suite of stuff, really. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's stuff, because you have keyword research, you have backlinks, you have local SEO, advertising, the whole nine. And in here, I just put in my website, harrisonbarron.com, and you'll see. So I launched this website in just about a year ago now, and it's growing pretty rapidly. I'm pretty excited about the growth that it has. Now, is it the growth that I would dream for? No. Is it a competitive area? Yes. And am I starting to target more small business owners? Yes. Also super competitive area. And I understand that. So growth might take a little bit longer than it would be on other topics, other platforms. So right off the bat, we have about 175 searches per month on here. And you'll see, I mean, it launched about a year ago. Before that, I had a lot of SEO issues with the software itself. Kajabi, I love Kajabi to death, but they're definitely not the best as far as SEO goes. But I still wanted to build it on here because I do have a evergreen course teaching people LinkedIn, amongst other things. And this is the traffic. I'm starting to average. Now, this says 175 organic searches per month. I will tell you that it's a good chunk higher than that. It's not anything crazy. It's about 500 to 600 visits per month, and it's been steadily increasing between 100 to about 250 visitors per month now that I've had this content and it's beginning to age online. Keep in mind, content takes about 8 months to about a year to really age. So even the content that I made, that I really started making this time last year, is only just really starting to rank. So there's a lot more potential on this website, even before I go back and start making some SEO updates. But right here we have authority score 19, organic search traffic 175, and about 140 backlinks. And this is just the data it's going to give you. And you will see an aggressive uptrend right here. And for anyone that would like to see, these are typically the blogs why you should consider training your corporate employees on LinkedIn. And they're good blogs. They are really, really good blogs. And then I have to add the email capture at the bottom here. But they are super informative. This is also a podcast. I do have a podcast at top 5% in the world and get insider access. And people are regularly signing up for my newsletter, which is really cool. Well written. I would like to put some more pictures in there, but I just haven't had time with my agency. But I'm okay with that. There's really, really good value in here. And the value is proven by a massive increase, right? You can see that it's saying in February it was about 129 people per month, and now it's up to 175 people per month in April. And April's not even over. And then if you go back just a couple short months ago in January, it was about 75 people per month. Now this is it guessing. Now I pulled up somebody else's website who I found online, this company called Judged Gear. And Judge Gear, I ran through the SEM Rush, and you'll see that it's kind of just planed off. It's usually getting between 300 to 400, with a high of 500 clicks, and it's actually trending down a little bit, something to be worried about. And it's getting, on average, 313 clicks. I've realized that SEM Rush really predicts about a third of it, so he's probably hitting about 1,000. And this company's been around now since 2014. I did some homework on it, and if you look, it is up here, the blog. You'll actually see October 2019. And if you go into these blogs, some of them are okay, but this one is too short. That's not going to rank. There's no headers, nose guard. Why use one? I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know too much about it, but there's no information here really it might answer the question, but it doesn't really go in depth as to why I may or may not want to use one. Dress in layers. Who's searching dress in layers? I don't quite understand. I don't know, but this is a better and more well broken out blog. Great. This is a good call to action in here. But if you scroll back just another page or so, you'll see that it jumps off from 2019 to 2017. And that's literally the reason why you start to see this drop. The content is now old and it's no longer ranking, and there's other things ranking ahead of it. Along with that, if you look at Alpaca Wool was actually a pretty good blog, but if you go to Why Cotton Should Be Worn, it's kind of light. There's there's information in here, but why would I want to read this one when there's definitely blogs online that are going to rank way better than this one? So this is an example of probably not the best SEO. On top of that, he does have a couple titles in here, but the word layering is really the most generic thing ever. And then you have layering, layers, inner layers or base layers. There's no comparison, pros, cons, why you need them, anything like that. This is probably one of the better ones, but it's still not really showing people. It's not showing people somebody wearing it. It's not showing somebody, the product that they're trying to push. There's a lot of things that are really missing on here. Hypothermia. This isn't a medical blog, and I think we all know what hypothermia is, but that's not enough information on hypothermia to rank in Google. On top of that, that word is going to be super competitive, and that's why you're starting to see this downtrend on their website. Along with that, there's really no calls to action in here. It really lacks a lot of the substance that we would recommend people when it comes down to SEO. And this is living proof of it. You're starting to see this downtrend on their website. Another website that we've worked on is Lawn Brothers Landscaping. I'm just pulling up websites that we've worked on just because I know them off the top of my head. But they have a pretty active blog if I go to their blog section here. And April 10th, right? March 31st, March 23rd. There's a lot of good content in here. Great tips for optimal lawn maintenance, 10 reasons to hire a professional company for your lawn needs, solid masonry versus brick veneer, installation, pros and cons. That's a really good, interesting topic. Add value to home with masonry work. You have sodding and seeding, which is best, right? What grass seed is best for you, New York. These are all really good, highly targeted keywords. And if you jump in here, you'll actually see it's well broken out. There's a nice image. It's super easy to read. There's good headlines, bullets. There's a lot of information. One thing I would like to put in here is some pictures and stuff like that. But it's a well-written blog. You also have recent posts at the bottom, so if people want to go check another blog that you might offer, that's going to get traction. Now, these are new and they're not getting that much traction just yet, but you'll see they started off in late August and it took a little while, but now this is a massive skyrocket and their search console shows exactly that. They're getting hundreds of clicks per month now because of the content that was written over the last 6, 7, 8 months. That's extremely highly relevant. And on top of that, low competition. There's a lot of things in here that are very low competition, such as what's the best grass seed for New York? Believe it or not, very low competition. Sodding or seeding, which is best? These are all really highly targeted keywords. We have another one, Richie Krug Jr., a good buddy of mine. We did some work on his website here, and you'll actually see. So he brought us on in the beginning of this year just to spruce up his website, create a bunch of content. And it's a massive, arguably the fastest website we've ever seen grow because it's, once again, super low competition. This website had actually been around for just over a year now, and they just started putting some money into SEO and helping build their digital presence. Whereas Lawn Brothers, their website is definitely on the newer side. And you'll see it's just a massive skyrocket into success. They're getting well over 1,000 clicks per month now. And that was only a handful of articles. This is only going to compound and compound and compound. Next one is we just rebranded. And this is what happens when you do rebrand. So we went from Baron Media Group to Growth Generators. We have an extremely active blog. We talk a lot about MSPs and IT companies and technology-driven companies. And the blog is super active, but we only rebranded about a month or so ago, so there's no traction. But you're starting to see down here in the organic keyword section, the keywords are starting to rank, which is really, really cool. Now, we're not really ranking number one for any particular keywords that we would love to rank for, but you'll see in here, they're starting to rank, and that's amazing. I'm super happy about that. And it'll take a little while. We're getting some backlinks. People are really enjoying our content. This is actually a really fast backlinking growth that I'm extremely excited about. And you'll just see, text broker, you have what does an MSP do, all of these different things as far as keywords that it's going to show you. And I'm not going to dive into this because you may or may not have this, but you'll see that there is really no traffic. Now, I know that there is traffic, but it's really not much right now because we fully rebranded. And this is organic search, keep in mind. And we still have an authority score of 15, which is awesome. I'm super excited about that. So that's what happens when you rebrand. And I just wanted to bring another buddy of mine's website in here, Synergy Works. Absolutely phenomenal company, some of the best car products. And I only recommend all of these companies. They are really good companies. But they sell car products. They have a somewhat active blog. It's definitely not as active as I'd like it to be, but we did a ton of SEO work, fixing a bunch of functionality on the website. And you'll see, they hired us in about April of last year, and it's been steady growth ever since. And we haven't even written that much content. But the thing is, the content was there. We reformatted it. We made sure the meta tags were done correctly. Headings were all done correctly. And it's been a pretty aggressive growth trail ever since. They're getting well above this now every single month. And these are eager buyers. Another thing that I see that a lot of people don't do on top of this, and I talked about it in the last handful of videos, is lead magnets. Once you start building traffic, start adding lead magnets. But this is the core of SEO. So does SEO work? I don't know. All of those companies have active blogs for the most part, and you'll see one of them or two of them really don't have active blogs. And that's what happens when you don't have an active blog. You're not going back and cleaning things up. You're not progressively making your website better. You're going to plane out and start to peter out, and that's an unfortunate thing for a lot of people. So I hope this video helps. I hope you guys got some education out of this. I really do enjoy doing this kind of thing. And like I said, this is SEMrush. You can go buy this. It's about $100 a month, but you can check on your competitors. I was going to use Ubersuggest, but Ubersuggest only allows 3, and I don't have a paid version because I have a better software. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I found this really fun. I was like, wow, this is a really cool thing. So does SEO matter? In my opinion, yeah. But what do you think? Does it matter? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear about it. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, notification bell. I'll see you guys later. Bye.